Good morning, sir. I'm going to discuss what is Persian literature. Persian literature, body of writing in New Persian, also called as Modern Persia, the form of the Persian language written since the 19th century, with slightly extended form of Arabic alphabet and with many Arabic loanwords. Persian literature is one of the world's oldest literature. It expands over 2.5 millennia. Persian literature comprises oral composition and written text in the Persian language. Can be tracked back to medieval classical Persia, began in the 10th century and lasted well into 16th century. Persian poetry and prose flourished during this classical period. Poetry began the dominant form of literary expression. It was the medium in which almost all intellectual pursuits were expressed, and traditional often supported by royal During the early modern period, Persian literature evolved to include genres in prose such as short story, novel, satire, and humor. Persian writers include new themes related to nationalism and national identity. Free verse poetry also found an audience among the new literary elites. Prose became an important literary form and flourished in the 20th and 21st century. The number of authors greatly increased, and women writers gained much higher visibility. Today, Persian writers, some using regional and national variation of the Persian language, continue to create poetry, prose novel, short story, essay, and children's story. By the 18th and 19th century, increased contact with European, especially with Russia and Britain, changed the tradition of writing poetry, literature, and history. However, Persian-speaking community, which had for centuries prized Persian calligraphy as a higher art form, did not immediately adopt the printing press. From the mid-19th century to the early 20th century, lithography became the preferred medium used to print Persian books, since it could be better replace calligraphic style. Persian literature differs from the common definition of literature in that it is not confined lyrical composition to poetry or imaginative prose, because the central elements of this appear to greater or lesser degree in all the written works of the Persians. Histories of medical theatrists, religious texts, or philosophical commentary are considered literature. In the artistic sense, as much as any poem or a fictional tale, poetry was regarded as the highest form of artistic expression by the ancient and medieval Persian, and so informs any other medium. Persian, also known as Farsi, it is the official language of Iran. Persia is today the country of Iran. So Reza Shah Pahlavi, in the mid-1930s, the ruler of the country, Reza Shah Pahlavi moved towards formalizing the name Iran instead of Persia for all purpose. When Reza Shah became the new king, the name was changed to Iran in an effort to signify a new beginning. Iran made it allegiance clear to the world by changing Persian's name to Iran or Arya, which means land of the Aryans. Persia or Iran had been greatly impacted by Soviet Union and Great Britain before 1935. Persian has a rich literary history spanning over 2,500 years. The alphabet is written from right to left. New Persian literature was first recorded in 19th century and after the Muslim conquest of Persia. Since then, adopting the Perso-Arabic script, Persian was the first language to break through the monopoly of Arabic unwritten in the Muslim world, with Persian poetry becoming a traditional in many Eastern courts. Cyprus II of Persia, commonly known as Cyprus the Great, was the founder of Achaemenid Persian Empire. He is the first and most famous king of the Persians. So Sudaki often referred to as the father of modern Persian poetry. The 19th century Persian poet Abu Rudaki is regarded as the first great literary of modern Persian and the founder of Persian classical literature. His name is based on his place of birth, the town of Sudaki in Tajikistan. Rudaki is the first poet of note to compose poetry in the New Persian, written in Arabic alphabet, widely regarded as the father of Persian poetry. Shahnameh is a Persian epic that depicts the exploits of a hero with superhuman abilities and divine power. The epic follows circular patterns, link the narrative of several heroes, transferring the next custom of tradition to the next generation. So the Sashna, or also known as the Book of Kings, offered Iran's new ruler a model of wise kingship, preserved the Persian language and identity, and spread their cultural influence well beyond Iran's shrinking political border. It was transferred into Arabic, Ottoman, Turkish, and many of the world's modern language. The Shahnameh universal theme had struck a resonant chord in the heart and mind of unfolding generation. Its story of the rise and fall of the dynasty, the disputes between king and heroes, and the conflict between father and son. Treat man's struggle against nature, fate, and his own conscience. So the Shahnameh had been credited with preserving Persian language, literature, culture, and the national epic of Iran. Persody seizing upon time interest in the Persian past to create a work that would both honor the past and prevent it being the loss of almost having been following conquests. Shahnameh, an epic poem that recounts the history of pre-Islam Persia or Iranians or Great Iran. The primary focus of Shahnameh is to narrate the historical and mythical stories of Persia, covering a vast period from mythical creation of the world up to the Islamic conquest of Persia. The central theme revolves around the legendary and historical king of Iran, portraying the heroic deaths, battles, and the challenges they face. So the epic began with mythical stories include the creation of the world, include the first man and woman, and the early mythics of Persia. So the box of the world is dedicated to recounting the lives and the reign of various Persian kings such as Kaimars, Hachin, and Shakas, and many others. So throughout the epic, Ferdowsi introduced a heroic figure and a strong woman who play a crucial role in the narrative. Rustam, in particular, is the legendary hero who exploits are a central focus. Historical and mythical tale, Ferdowsi weaves ethical and moral lesson of the story, addressing theme of justice, loyalty, and consequences of one action. So the epic poem Shahnameh, or the Book of Kings, is not only a historical and mythical account but also a cultural and moral guide. It played a significant role in preserving the Persian language and during a period of Arabization. The epic enduring popularity had contributed to its status as a masterpiece of world literature. So Shahnameh by Ferdowsi carried various moral lessons. The lesson emphasizes justice, courage, and loyalty. Narrative often highlights the consequences of greed, betrayal, and tyranny, while promoting virtues such as honor, righteousness. It encourages readers to reflect on the impact of their action in society and the importance of upholding moral values.